Here we go. Hello, everyone. Happy June. Hi, Megan.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to get this off my screen. There you go. Someone got a haircut.
I did.
I love it.
Thank you. I'm
You're
not
in the
sure about
adjustment
it
phase. Yeah.
yet, but I'm excited because it's summertime and it's going to be so hot and I won't have to
Oh,
blow dry my
yeah.
hair anymore.
Dude, tell me about it.
Yeah.
My
I'm,
hair is in a ponytail on the top of my head, and then I wrap it around in this big bun, and that's like where it normally sits up there. When
yeah,
David sees me with my hair down, he's like, "Where are you going?" Because
yeah,
it's not I wear it down a couple times in the week, to work, but since I started coloring it, I don't wash every day. And so on like the not wash days, that I've got to put it up. I can't deal with it
yeah,
down. It's just that was a hard thing for me to get used to because I washed my hair every day for my whole life. And then all of a
yeah,
sudden stopping doing that and just getting used to it. And it's never even dirty. It just bugs me that I'm not starting fresh every day. It feels
yeah.
like something was missed in the steps. So that's about it. So we missed last month. We had, I traveled in April and twice in April and went and the end of the month to see my family back on the East Coast, which was so wonderful and so
Yeah.
refueling for me, on all those parts of my life. But and then I came back into a dental work nightmare again from having radiation. I had 3 teeth that were broken in my mouth and kind of ignoring them because I don't like the dentist that much. And so while I was at my parents' house in Maryland, one of them just went crazy and the pain was out of control. So had to go right into having that dealt with. And so we could not do mystery author chat because I was a little messed up for a while. So it's nice to be feeling better finally because I had like 2 months of misery, honestly, but the lead in to having the oral surgery and then having that done and recovering from it. So I ended up missing, unfortunately, so sad, the whole thing in Canada because my passport didn't get here in time. Plus I had that oral surgery. And so,
Yeah.
but I couldn't put it off a day longer than I did. The pain was so bad. Tooth pain sucks. It's like you
It's the
can't get
worst. It's the worst.
it
You
to
can't.
stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get
I'm
little
so glad
relief.
you're feeling a little
Yeah.
better now.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel a lot better. So, and I got the start of the implants done. And then, by the end of the summer, I think they'll be good to go and we'll finish that off and hope that no more break because I've had enough of this nonsense. So
Yeah.
there's that. So what else is going on? How about you? How has the spring been to you? And we've not had spring. It's still in the 60s in Southern California. The sun was out today for a few hours, which is nice, but
Mhm.
it feels like I think it was warmer in Maryland when I was there than it has
Yeah.
been here. So I don't
It was
know.
like 90 degrees yesterday. So
Yeah,
we're
not
having
here.
summer.
Yeah. I
We're
think
having,
Well, yesterday was Friday. On Thursday, when I came home from work, so it was like 3 in the afternoon, it was 63 degrees.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I would prefer that over being so hot, but it's
Well, I
fine.
don't like that humidity, but I could take it a little warmer than it is right now because I'm always so cold and then I'm bundled up and, you
Hmm.
know, bathrobe. And then I put another bathrobe on over that because I'm still cold. When I
Yeah.
start getting in bed, David's like, how much do you have on? I'm like, wait, there's more. It's kind of funny, but I'm always so cold. But that's just
Yeah.
me.
I'm
And,
always hot. I feel like
well,
I run hot, you run cold.
I would rather be cold than doing that hot flash nonsense that I went through. So I think that I conquered that with the apple cider vinegar, I think.
Mhm.
So, because I haven't had one in months. Thank goodness. Being a woman is kind of sucky sometimes.
Yes.
So I don't know, but everyone's graduating now and being done with school. Kids are out of school, summer vacation starting, plans.
Yeah.
David's going to Chicago in June. The kids are going to go with him to see his father. And
Oh, how fun.
yeah, just for a long weekend, but we're kind of encouraging one another to put that time and effort into our family right now, our
Yeah.
parents and stuff, because our parents are getting older. And so I don't want to live with regret, after we lose
Yeah.
them, and David's already lost one. So that kind of started it. He's like, you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
take anything for granted. You never know how quickly they get sick or die or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, but that's the stage of life I'm in. People are losing their parents and stuff. And so
Yeah. Loss is just so hard, and it's like you can't prepare yourself, but I agree. Try to be present and appreciating what you have and visiting the people you have in your life. It's so hard. Like the older I get, it's harder to visit my family and visit my friends, and of course now I'm across the country, so that makes it a lot harder.
well, the daily obligations and what you get I'll speak for myself. I'm so routine. You know what I mean? I get stuck in the routine and I'm okay with that. Like I'm happy and content in my routine, but it's not very flexible. And so it doesn't allow for a lot of extra things. I have to really like get in my head and talk myself into, okay, we have to inject something else into the daily routine and
Yeah.
the world isn't going to stop because of that. So I don't know. I don't think I've always been that rigid, but I think that definitely changes as you get older. It's something you
I
get
know.
more, set in your ways, I guess. Think about, older people are always described as stubborn, right? But I think that's what it is. You know what you
Yeah.
like, you know what you want to be doing. And so that's it. I don't know.
I definitely agree with that.
So do we have a guest with us yet, or are we waiting
We
on them to
do,
arrive?
we do.
All right.
So I
I'm gonna
can
wipe
go
my nose.
ahead and introduce our guest for the night. We'll see if you can guess, because you usually can. Tonight's mystery author is a USA Today bestseller who writes tempting romance with unapologetic bad boys who don't just fall in love, they fall hard. Her books have sold over 1 million copies. She lives in the American West, where she's always finding inspiration for her next story. Please welcome, Vanessa Vale.
Oh, hey, that was like just vague enough to not tell me
Yeah, I was like,
exactly
okay,
what it
this one's
was.
kind
Yeah.
of vague.
Hey,
You're not
you,
gonna
how
guess
are
it.
you? Hi.
Surprise.
Hi. Welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I'm trying to make you a little bigger on my screen. There you are. So how are you? I saw you in Denver most recently.
I know it wasn't that long ago, but it feels like forever.
I know. That con fucked me up. I'm serious. When I came home, I was sick, and not like the regular con crud. It was this weird exhaustion. That altitude messed with me bad.
It does. I heard that from a number of people who were there.
Yeah.
So no one's going to come visit me though, then,
Yeah.
since I live in the area.
Yeah. Have you lived there your whole life? You were from SoCal?
No, I'm from the East Coast, and I moved here after college. And then, so I live in the Wild Wild West. And then my husband and I moved up to Montana for 5 years and lived up there. And that's why I have stories up there, because it's so amazing. And when we lived there.
Yeah.
And now we
Wow.
don't live in Montana now, but.
Right. And so did you go through an adjustment period like with that altitude?
I do every time I leave here and go somewhere low altitude. Just like you, everyone, even exercising a little bit, you go away on vacation or something and you come back and you're like, whew, this is hard. But it doesn't last too long, fortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, and now before we got started, Megan and I were chatting and I said that con, so I wasn't feeling well at all. And it took like 2 weeks probably to go away. And then I went right into, I had to have oral surgery, which I knew it was coming, but I was putting it off and putting it off. And I traveled to see my parents in Maryland. And while I was there, it just went hog wild, like the
Well,
pain.
terrible. We have to talk because I grew up in Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're in Sykesville now. And I know that's Carroll County. I did not grow up there. I grew up in Pennsylvania. They moved there when I left, well, right when I got married. So I was already out of the Navy. But we used to go there my whole life because we had a boat on the Chesapeake and we would go every weekend down there. And so Maryland's been in my life for a long, long time. So they ended up settling there and buying a marina. My dad retired from being a plumber, my whole life. And they bought a marina and then worked harder than ever for the last years of their working life. And then after that, that was in Pasadena, in Grays Creek, it was called, that area.
Yeah, my father used to sail as well, so I grew up sailing too. So I think we have more in common than we even knew before now.
And when I know we have a lot in common, when we were chatting, about the stages of womanhood that we're
I know.
in Denver, I was like, that girl is speaking my language, because this part of life has been a real challenge for me.
Yeah,
it's really been something else.
Yeah, we're supposed to be taking a breather, but that doesn't seem to happen right now.
My eye is twitching. No, it's like everything becomes an issue, where before you were just like, whatever, and now it's like, wait, what's happening? I used to be able to do that, or that's funny, that wasn't there before. That
Right.
is probably something that comes out of my mouth like twice a week. When I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, that wasn't there before.
Right.
Yeah.
Were these bags really
What
this
is
big?
that? Yeah. Do they have a procedure for this? So yeah, that's it. But I knew going into getting older, I was not going to go gracefully. I knew that. And I said to David, my husband, I'm like, just get ready, because I've got a limit, but I'm going to fight this. I just can't really foresee me going down the
Yeah.
old.
And I think when you say get ready, I don't think these men are ready, because wow. Yeah. I think they're like, what's going on? There's no instruction book for this.
I feel bad. There is so much guilt attached to menopause for me, where like what it's doing to him and how it
Yes.
affects him and his life. And I feel like it's so unfair. So much of it is so unfair, because literally everything changes. Everything.
Everything.
And they're hard to train, these guys, in the first.
That's the thing, is I feel like we have them trained.
Right. You
And
finally
now
get
it's
them
like,
trained.
but
Now we're
wait,
changing the rules. Yeah.
we're going to
Yep.
switch it all up.
Yeah. So it's unfair. It's not, I don't know. There should be a support group, and men don't talk about it as openly as we do, about what we're dealing with and the changes we're going through and stuff. And so I don't know. I kind of think they should, if they got to that point where they could openly talk about, my wife's a raging lunatic. I love her, but she's really testing.
That's called, I think, watching football at the bar.
Right. You might be right. So anyway, so what have you been doing since I saw you in Denver?
Oh, well, you know what? My husband and I went to Los Angeles for the day. Unfortunately, we had to go. Unfortunately, we had to go for a memorial service, but we flew in for the day. And besides the memorial service, keeping that part separate, it was like a little treat for surprise, completely spontaneous little treat. Yeah. And we showed up and we had time. We went to Santa Monica and was up on the top overlooking the pier and everything. And so we got to see the Pacific and then had lunch. Nice. And we were like, oh, we can do this now. My younger child graduated from high school last month, and so we will be official empty nesters in September. So we're like, oh, let's go to California. And so
yeah, it's a little taste of what's coming.
It was a hint of what's to come. We can fly off and
do whatever you want. Yeah. it's hard to wrap your head around, isn't it?
Well, I don't think we're quite there yet because we haven't dropped him off. The younger one's going to end up in Georgia at school, so he's going to be far, far away.
Right. How do you predict that will go? Like, do you think he's going to Georgia, he'll be fine? Like, some kids you got a solid sense of they're fine.
Well,
Or some
both,
you're like, I'm a little
Yeah.
nervous.
well, both our kids unfortunately had pretty tricky graduation. So the older one, I'm sorry, graduated in 2020 when they were the cusp of COVID. And so his school wasn't sure if they were going to open, but he ended up in Arizona and they were wide open. And so he went. And so for him, it wasn't that hard because I was like, you need to go. He's exactly where he needs to be. So it was easy for me to know that he was happy there. For this one, he had worse COVID challenge because he had like a year and a half of COVID. And then unfortunately, our town actually burned down. Most of our town burned down a year and a half ago. So like tons of kids in my son's class in the high school itself was right at ground zero for the fire. And so he had a horrible junior year because of this fire. And so everything was like a nightmare for him. And so now he's excited. And I'm excited and he's thrilled to go to school. So he's something to be thrilled about.
Yes.
And I think when I drop him off, I'm just gonna be so glad that he's excited.
Right. That's a lot of adult big stuff for a
It's
young
big
person.
stuff, big stuff. And we were fortunate our house didn't burn down, but just big stuff all around him. And also on a lighter note, he's going to the school that my husband and I went to.
Oh,
And so we get to go back and
to the alma
visit.
mater.
It's going to be
Yeah.
and it's going to be warm there. So
Nice.
I told him, I was like, be prepared. We're going to be there from January till like May.
Yeah. Oh, well, how exciting. There's so many big, exciting things coming up.
It is.
So what is that? Has that affected your writing or do you find time to write still in between all that?
Well, right now, nothing's changed yet. However, I'm just finishing up writing a book right now that's coming out this month. And then I was trying to figure out a date for the next book. And this is where it's a timely question because I was talking to a girlfriend earlier about when I was going to put the next book out. And I was going to do August. And then I realized August is like 7 weeks away.
Right.
And that's crazy. And so I was like, it is not August. So,
And in those 7 weeks, you're going to move a kiddo across the country.
not yet, but it's warm. I'm wearing a sweatshirt because it's actually kind of chilly here today, but it's going to be
been so cold in California. Well, you were just here. We have not even seen a little speck of
it was
spring.
chilly that day. I packed I didn't pack anything. So I brought a purse because I was there for the day and I wore a cardigan for the plane. And I was really glad I did because it was chilly. Anyway, I want to enjoy my summer. I'm super excited about the warm weather. And so I'm pushing my book back. I think it's going to be the end of September because besides summer, yes, I have to take a child to Georgia.
Right. Well, that's good. And it's nice. That's one of the joys of, are you strictly indie now?
Yes, I always pretty much have
You
been.
always have been. It's one of the joys of that. You set your own timeline. So
it is. And it's a treat. This is a perk of having, kids go away and everything. I can decide when I want to do something. And since it's summertime, I'm so eager to get out and play. I think if we had this talk in a month from now, I'll be like, oh my God, it's so hot. But right now I'm all excited.
I know. I'm right there with you. I actually had to force myself to put a short sleeve shirt on because I had I was telling Megan before we start talking, I layer bathrobes on top of one another because I'm never warm enough. And just even before I was getting dressed for this, I had 2 bathrobes on and I'm like, I cannot put on a shirt, because I was so cold, but I was like, okay, just be a big girl and do it,
Well,
and then your
really
body
cute.
kind of forces you to be warmer.
It is a cute top.
Thank you. It's crazy. I have a short sleeve shirt on. I'm sorry, I'm grabbing a tissue. My nose this is another thing that I'm having, and I don't know if it's from having cancer, which I suspect, or menopause, but I have allergies now, which I never had 52 years. And now I do. And it is, they're annoying.
I tuck them in the sleeve like my grandmother.
Yeah. And I'm like my mom, all of my robe pockets have tissues in them.
all of my coat pockets do, my winter coat
Yeah.
ones do. So now that they're away for the year, in the fall or winter, when I pull them back out, there are these old tissues in there. And I'm so
hard and-
excited, but I'm so excited they're there because I'm not used to having to pack them. Like, oh, good, it's a
Right.
tissue.
Right. How funny. Oh my gosh, the stuff that we do. And that my eye today is twitching. You probably can't see it, but it
I
keeps
can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know why. Another thing. Yay. That's what it is. It's just another thing. So, oh my gosh. I don't know even what time it is, Megan. Do we have to ask questions already?
7:24
Not
or
bad.
6:24 for you. I'm an hour ahead of you.
Yeah. Are you always, or do you that
Always.
one time change? You always go. Yeah. Is it just Arizona that does that?
And Hawaii, I think.
I can't.
My older son goes to school in Arizona, and so half of the year he's in our time zone and half the year he's not. And so
Right.
that is tricky.
Yeah. My mother-in-law lives there in Wickenburg, which is kind of near Phoenix, but up into the hills a little bit, just down from Prescott. So,
Oh, I flew into Prescott a couple weeks ago to meet up with my son to drive back with him.
yeah. So it
It is
seems like
It is Prescott.
Prescott.
I
Yep.
mean, you said it just right, but I found out on the plane.
It's not Prescott.
No, the gentleman next to me, one, I was the youngest person on the plane.
Yeah.
The gentleman next to me made sure to tell the flight attendant to tell the pilots that they were saying it wrong and to fix it for the announcements.
Okay. I'm starting to fear I might become one of those people, like an old person like that, where, I'm just like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just going to be belligerent.
I think now we've already started talking about the weather all the time.
Yes. So we're just one step.
We're on the way there.
Yeah. And all the things that hurt on my body. That's like my big go-to conversation is what's wrong.
Right.
Oh my God. So I do have so much joy in my life and happiness and good things and fun things. It's just that you and I, the last time we talked, we're really talking email, and it was so refreshing because I have some friends that are older and they've already been through it. I have some friends that are younger and I'm like, you just wait. And then,
and they don't want to hear it and they don't believe it. And then if you're going through it, everything at the exact same time, I think of it like a grab bag. You put pieces of paper, like all the little things that you could possibly have on a slip of paper, and you put it like in a hat or a bag. And then you're like, okay, Vanessa, you pick out 5, 10, 15 things, and I get my crazy things. And then Victoria, you get a grab bag and you get slightly different stuff, but it's all insanity.
Yeah. And I got thrown into it because of the breast cancer. And so it came literally one day. It was here. There was no warming up to it. There was no anything. It was. And so what is funny, I have 2 sisters. They're older than I am. One by 5 years, then one by 3.5 years. And we're all going through menopause together, which probably normally wouldn't be happening. But because I ended up with breast cancer, we're all going together. So, oh my gosh, when we got together, we were like, and then another, the guys are like, I'm leaving. I'm done with this. I can't anymore. So it's funny.
Yes. Funny. It's like, I'm not sure if I'm hot or cold or cranky
or
anxious or what. Yeah.
And it's funny, even with people I am blood related to, it's so different. We're all, doing it differently.
I am the only one I know of that's experiencing this joy.
Well, and me, me too.
Wait, I'm sorry. In my family. I apologize. In my family.
Yeah. It's something else. But anyway, enough with the menopause. We're going to have to change.
Well, the funny thing is they don't talk. No, there's no books. Obviously, maybe an old crazy lady side character will talk about menopause in a romance novel. There's no discussion about that or anything younger, except maybe like having, I'm pregnant. That would be the only thing that's a good trope in a book. I don't think on the trope list for writers there's menopause.
No. How long ago? Like when I was a girl, I remember women would call it the changes. Like it still was not even like openly talked about. And so for me, like doing this, I keep thinking, I'm going to talk about this openly in front of everybody and anybody and every age person, because I think it's unfair that it comes out of nowhere. And all of a sudden you're dealing with so many things that were never a part of your life. And I don't know, I think we owe women better than that.
Well, I think they always say that menopause is just nothing is happening. That's like the official title is when menopause is like when everything's done. Well, that's almost the easy part. It's like
Yeah.
they don't tell you about the 5 years beforehand.
Yeah.
Like, why am I crazy now?
Right.
And you're like, why am I crazy now? I'm still crazy now. What's this?
Right.
And it's they
But
don't
I'm crazy
tell you.
about different things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And Megan's probably like, oh my gosh, these two ladies are
I know.
crazy
Yeah.
together.
We're crazy. We're crazy menopause ladies.
No,
but-
I'm like, okay, I'm 35. So how much longer do I have until this happens to me?
Yeah. Yeah. You've got good juicy ovaries still. You're good. You're
Yeah.
really, yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
your ovaries still like you.
Yeah. I think
Hopefully,
even
we'll see, right?
now, this is honestly the last thing I'm going to say, but I'm curious, even the way, like all of a sudden I cannot eat sweet things. They're so sweet.
They are sweet. I don't
Like crazy sweet. And I'm
I
like,
don't like sweet tea anymore. So I went to school in Georgia. I used to like sweet tea. I don't like sweet
Sure.
tea. I don't like yeah, I like desserts, but yeah, I have to think about the other things I don't like. Oh, I have a texture problem. Like
oh,
tags on my
yeah.
neck drive me bonkers. I mean, I guess they drive everyone bonkers, but I have I'm like doing this with my fingers. I don't
Like
know
a
what you would call it.
tactile.
I
Tactile.
am bothered by like touch sensation, not like physical touching,
Yeah.
but like coats, sweaters, the
Yeah.
feel of stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't like
Right.
that.
Right. It's so weird. It's like everything turns hyper aware. But
Yeah.
I don't, it's all hormonal. I don't know. You would think somebody could do something about this. Well, there's hormone replacement therapy and there's natural hormone replacement therapy, but I cannot do any of that because
Right.
I had breast cancer. So
Right.
I'm in the weeds I'm like on the front line with no armor.
And I'm the opposite where I can have it and we're like going up, down, testing it,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what's what, but I'm not even sure what
Yeah,
normal
if it
is anymore
works
because I don't
or-
remember. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, it's crazy as my nose drips more. So anyway, oh, I love chatting with you. I swear I could just do it like hours.
Well, I have to come back to California when it's cold here and there's no sad excuse to show up and visit. And I know I met with you and Angel Payne years ago. We had coffee when I was vacationing in Oceanside, California, and that was fun. But that was such a short time. So
yeah, and that was, my God, how many years ago now?
7,
So long,
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but
Time
a
goes
long
so-
time.
Yeah, but yeah, let me know when you're coming. We'll set something up.
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. Megan, do we have questions for Miss Vanessa Vale? Did you write under another name?
I'm going to say no.
We do have some questions.
Okay.
Okay, first, what are you both working on right now?
Do you want to go first, Victoria?
Mine's really fast. I'm writing. I have one scene to go on a very short little bit for an anthology for the hopeless. No, what's it called, Megan? Hopelessly Devoted, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I cannot get that one right. For that anthology. And then I'm moving on to the second book in the loosely titled Brentwood Bombshells. That's the standalones that are coming out of the Sharp's Edge world, but are not in the series lineup. I don't know how do you describe all that, but what about you, ma'am?
I just finished this morning, but I'm finished writing, but I have to go back in and reread what I wrote. Book 4 in the On a Manhunt series. This book is called Mansplain.
Mansplain. Nice. I love it.
because, you know, part of the whole process that we go through is also being mansplained too. So
Yeah. My husband, I'm going to give him credit, does not mansplain me, which if he did, I'd punch him in the head. But he also
Yeah.
doesn't man spread, which I see my son do that all the time. I'm like, can you take up only your own space, please? Like sit straight, you know, because he's like, and I'm like,
Right. I have two very large grown boys, and it's amazing how much room they all take up.
right. And you're so tiny, so you're probably like,
Well,
what
they are
between them all.
6'1" and 6'2", so
Yeah,
they are large. So when we get on airplanes together, I'm just like, haha,
yeah. You're gonna be unhappy.
sorry.
Yeah. And you're sitting with your feet up on the
Yeah,
chair.
my legs like sticking up because I still am flexible.
Yeah. All right, Megan.
Okay, Gina wants to know, what's your new series right now? I can't ever catch up on books. So someone said Shark's Edge, but I wanted you to be able to talk about it a little bit for the people who
Right.
might not.
So Shark's Edge is done. It ended at 11 books, and I'm writing 4 standalone books that we're looking at them as other entry points into the Shark's Edge world. So if maybe it looks a little intimidating to dive into an 11-book series, you can kind of warm up with the world and the characters on unrelated side stories, but the same characters. So it's all in the Shark's Edge world, and it's there's 4 books, and it's all of Hannah's sisters. So from that trio of Elijah's whim, want, and need, his heroine Hannah, it's her sisters, and so that's what those are.
Okay, perfect. Vanessa, what would you recommend for a first-time reader for your books?
That's always a good question. And I get asked often, and I always stall every single time because I always think about what book I love the most of my books. So,
Right.
but at the same time, that's different. So I write steamy small town. Bulk of them are cowboy, but I have lately taken the hat off the cowboy. And so they are spicy alpha heroes set in small town without the cowboy hat on. I would suggest starting with North, book 1 in the Billionaire Ranch series, because it's free on all retailers. So it's a great option for you to check me out without any cost on your part. And then also, if you like shifter cowboys, which would mean shifters and cowboys combined into one, it's kind of fun. Rough, which is book 1 in the Wolf Ranch series with Renee Rose, is also free right now. But if you're asking after my favorite book, I actually got organized. This is how organized I am. I have a book next to me. Woo! Let me see if I can do it without, I actually go opposite. So this is book 1 in the On a Manhunt series called Manhunt, and it is loose. It's a rom-com. It's loosely based on 16 Candles.
How fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's not based on it all, but there's themes in it where the heroine sends by accident the hero, the billionaire boss, answers to a sex quiz by email that she had to do for a fun ladies' night. So if you love 16 Candles, Victoria and I probably grew up with it because we were in school with them at the same time. So Jake Ryan is my first true love, of course, and so I wanted to make sure he was in a book.
There is someone, I don't know if it's a reader, and I don't know who it is, named her son Jake Ryan.
If I had the last name of Ryan, I would too.
Yeah, no, his first name was Jake and his middle name was Ryan. Jake
Ryan. Okay. I thought his
Yeah,
last name would be Ryan. That would be so amazing.
Yeah. It's so cute. I have in Misadventures with a Book Boyfriend, the one scene the hero and heroine are having a little movie night, date night, stay at home, and she makes him watch 16 Candles, and she's crying, of course, because we all cry when he is there on her birthday, and look, he remembered, everyone else forgot, and the hero goes, "Are you crying?" So everyone that is our
he's wearing Docksiders. How can you be crying?
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I love that.
Okay, for both of you, what are your favorite genres?
To read or to write?
Oh, good.
Both.
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 Whoa.
Oh gosh,
Both,
double
yes.
question.
Double question for you both.
Now you have to answer first.
Okay. Read, I rotate. So these days I love to read Age Gap. I love to read Motorcycle Club for some reason. I don't know why, but that just melts my butter. I also I love I've been sort of getting now into sports romance, but I like the nerdy college, a very small niche. I'm really into like finding as many nerdy college girl books with the hot sports hero kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the tutor, those ones. I can't get enough of those right now. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but I could be one after the other after the other. So that is like a in the moment thing that I like.
Right.
So if anyone has a suggestion, please let me know.
Yeah.
Then to write, well, I write contemporary small town, but if I could just like on a whim write something completely different, oh boy, I would have to say a pirate.
Ooh.
I know, like one of those bodice rippers, like a really good
Yeah.
bodice ripper
I
with.
feel like there's some real good potential in a pirate romance for some dirty sex.
Right, but also the hero, the pirate has to be ultimately a good guy. Like you don't know he's the good guy, so you think
Right.
he's being the heroine's being kidnapped by the bad guy, but actually he saved her and he has
Right.
to protect her by whatever. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, that would just be amazing. Wouldn't that? Oh, that'd be.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't want to read a lot of them, but that just sounds yummy and
I
fun to
like
write. We should do it
it
together.
would be so fun. Let's go. Let's do it. I have not unfortunately been consuming books. I like I have been saying I have not been well. I've been unwell health-wise, and I have been sleeping every minute I can get and not having just quiet time. So lately, not a lot of book reading. But before that, I was reading. I like contemporary romance that has a little bit of a psychological thriller hint in it. Not too much where you're like freaked out or like that's the whole thing like you, which was incredible, but you know I can only take so much of that because I still need more romance. But yeah, something like that. That's what I enjoy. And to write, my sweet spot is probably always going to be contemporary romance. It's just what I relate to. I super love, as everyone can probably tell at this point, I like tying in mental health issues into how it affects your romance and your love life, because it does. And so that's like my superpower right now.
And that's so important. I love that you do that. For both of you, what are your summer plans? Any traveling not for work?
Ooh, I don't know.
We haven't made any big trip plans this year, but because we're taking our youngest son to college in September. But I think we will do more local things that doesn't involve an airplane. So we'll probably stay in the wild, wild west and just check out the mountains or something.
Right. That sounds like a good thing too. Because getting on an airplane can be more tiring than it is. You know, I think we're having our 29th wedding anniversary in July. So we've been kind of planning around there's the La Costa Spa, you know, down in San Diego, which is incredible. And so we're talking about treating ourselves to a day or two there. So
Fun. We had our 25th last week. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And so I think we are going to celebrate that and empty nesting by dropping our kid off at college and then continuing on somewhere. We haven't decided where yet.
Yeah. And then going to do something for you. Yeah. So I mean, right now, that's like the biggest plan I have going on. My husband and kiddos are going to Chicago at the end of this month, but just for a quick visit. And then, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. We're kind of in that stage where shit pops up and we react. So yeah, it's all good. Mine are gone. Like my son and his girlfriend moved out in November. So I'm like digging the empty more empty nest than it was, because, you know, Ivy will always be with us. So, you know, that's a whole different story, but it's changed completely. Like our big thing, we went to the grocery store last night and it was like date night, and it was so fun because we never did stuff like that before. Somebody always, you know, was staying home with the kids, but yeah, so we're in a new season of
I was going
our,
to say a new season. I was exactly going to say that.
yeah, almost 30-year marriage. So it's been awesome.
Congratulations. Everyone's saying happy
you.
anniversary to you
Thank
both.
you.
Thank you.
Gina says, just had my 25th and my hubby got me a new 2023 Malibu.
Oh,
I also wanted to say that Kelly said, I love everything you write, Victoria.
Thank
And
you.
Kelly had a comment about the pirates. She said, Katie Roberts writes good pirate stories. So
thank you.
I'll
I will
check
have
that out.
to, I'm going to go after this. I'm going to go and peek.
Yeah.
I
See
read
what's
before bed. I climb in bed and I read. And so it's not quite bedtime yet, but I might have something for tonight.
Right. I still listen every night while I sleep, but I've always listened to books while I sleep that I've already heard. So I'm not paying super close attention to what's going on. It's more just about the soothing, you know, voice of the narrators. So I still do that every night, but, you know, I haven't really, I even have a CD Reese book who everyone knows I adore her, on my, you know, in my audio, and I just can't get in. I just could not before get into listening. It just too uncomfortable when I sit down to, you know, everything has just been an issue, but I think we're in a better spot now. Definitely. I feel like I am.
Vanessa, do you have any pets?
I don't now. I got a black lab in college, crazily enough. And her name was Fred. And she was my dog for almost 15 years. And we had her through all our travels and moves and little babies and stuff. And she's been gone for a long, long time now, but that was my pet. After she passed, I had 2 little boys and I had enough personalities in my house, and I wasn't ready for any more. And then it got to the point where the kids were big enough where, wait a second, I'm going to be getting rid of the kids. I don't need a pet. So
Yeah.
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 So no, not now. We do dog sit. We do have a friend who has a dog that I'm like the aunt for, I guess. So the dog comes over and we watch her for a day or two, and then I get to send her home.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, for both of you, what do you imagine yourself doing 10 years from now?
Not having menopause.
Oh, high five for us. Definitely that. I don't know. I am one of these 50 something women that I truly believe I'm just getting started. Like I know I've been bitching about menopause this whole time, but overall, like mentally and creatively and all those things, I feel more on now than ever. So
Yeah.
I am more in touch with myself, my beliefs, my, you know, all of that stuff now than I've ever been in my life. And so I think that I still have greatness in me.
I agree with that, because I think now I think when I turned 40, I started saying no all the time. Like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not making those cookies. No, I felt comfortable in saying no to more and more things. When I turned 50, I feel now really more empowered in that I can't say I'm wise, but I feel solid in where I am and where I have been and where I'm going. And like Victoria said, there's a season for everything, and I'm literally at the end and the beginning of a new season of my life. And I can't really say what it's going to be like in 10 years, because my kids right now are like just about 18 and 21, and 10 years for them, my gosh, the stuff that's going to happen for them in the next 10 years. I mean, dare I say I might be a grandma? That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So I think this is the wrong time to ask. 10 years ago, when they were in elementary school, it would be a lot easier.
But. Yeah, it is. that just adds in my mind to the excitement, like not
Yeah, I think there's more
knowing.
adventures now. Like everything was just
so
the
many-
same for school. You know,
Yeah.
you knew what you were doing for 10 years
Yeah.
because, well, the kids will be in 8th grade, they'll be in 9th grade, they'll be in 10th grade, whatever. And now everything's wide open. And so every adventure is available.
And it's your life and your adventures and theirs as their mom. Like, and you know, mine are really close by and we are in each other's daily life. So it's like I get to experience their life from my point of view and my own life. So there's so many things, you know, and it's exciting. It's an exciting time.
I don't think we actually answered that question.
Anyway,
Well, you never
we
know
kind of
what-
beat around it. Yeah.
You never know what the future holds, but Victoria, I can just say this. I'm so excited to see you as a grandma.
Oh, you know, it's weird to even have those moments. Like our warehouse manager has a baby. She is the most precious little baby I've ever seen in my life outside of my own. And it makes me think I could get into this Grammy thing. Like I could dig this. But I said, please don't call me Nana. I don't want to be called Nana or, you know, like, I don't know what, because, you know, the kid makes up what they call you. It's, you don't really get a say in it, but
I could
it's
see you as
so
Grammy.
fun.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So we'll see. But, you know, they're young. Hayden and
Yeah.
Faith, they're young. They have a lot of life they should live before they start a family, I think. But that's
Yeah.
up to them.
Okay, for both of you, what is your number one goal for the next 6 months?
Get
These
rid
are
of
tough. We're
ship a kid
challenging
to
you.
college.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Boy, my number one goal for the next 6 months.
Hang out with me.
Yeah, hang out with Vanessa, plan a project together.
After September 15th, I can come anytime.
Okay. My guest room will be redone by then because
Okay.
the kids moved out and left a mess. So I've got to deal with some things like that. So yeah, I have a lot of things going on project wise, you know, outside of writing. I am renovating at work again. I am going to be doing this room here. You know, we've got the house the kids live in that needs some stuff done. So like right now, there's a lot of those things that's what pops up in my head. And to have my kitchen faucet replaced because I have the faucet. I just got to get the plumber here on a day where I'm home from work. So that's probably number one goal. It's my number one goal right now.
Writers are exciting people.
You know, we're just like regular people. That's what
Okay, Kelly wants to know, Victoria, what I need to know what is in those green baskets on the shelf behind you.
That is stuff that when I put together packages for people who won prizes, there's like bookmarks and, you know, the little cosmetic mirrors I give away. That's what it is. It's my swag in there. And I just go past and grab one of each and make a little package up. And over here are all the books. See?
Oh, look at you.
But yeah, so that's that. But that's what's in those baskets. And I got those baskets, I think, from Pier 1, maybe when they were still in business. I think that's where I got them. They fit
Kelly
perfectly
said,
on the shelf.
my eyes go to anything green. It's amazing. Okay.
I do not know what you said. That was so garbled. What did you say?
Oh, sorry. She said her eyes go to anything green.
Yeah,
So
same.
she had to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, for both of you, how do you spend your free time when you're not working, when you're not writing?
Gardening.
Gardening.
I love, but this time of year, I live where it's cold and snowy up through May. So it's like prime season for me right now. I love to be outside I have flower garden, and vegetable garden's not very exciting. So you just put them in, you let them water and they just do their thing. But I love my flower garden.
Oh, nice. I don't have a lot of free time. And lately I've been prioritizing sleeping. So right now, that's my favorite thing to do is sleep. Because it's, you know, everyone knows how bad my sleeping habits are and how not a good sleeper. I am. So I am like, I've been working on it, like really working on it, trying to have a healthier sleep life than I did, because I am getting older and it, my health is a real issue. So sleep is very important. So I'm trying to do it better. That's it. That's not exciting. I'm sorry, but I'm trying. There's a lot of things like in my life in the past couple of months, I've really had to shift and focus on myself, like really focus on myself. I thought that I had it all done, after the cancer, and like, yeah, we're done. And here I am almost 4 years later, still dealing with shit from that experience. Like, it's the stuff they don't tell you. It doesn't actually go away when it's gone away. I'm fighting, crap from that still now. So it's hard on your body. It's really hard on your body.
I'm sorry you've had to deal with so much.
Well, that's just the reality of it, and I think if medical professionals were a little more real about what to expect, it would be nice. It would just be nice but then maybe if they were so upfront about it, it would be hard to stay motivated, and positive getting through each stage of it. So.
But I'm glad you're putting your needs first now and sleeping and doing what you need to do.
Thank you.
Okay, it's 9:55, so we'll do one more question and then we'll do the giveaway. Can you believe it always goes so fast?
I know, it
right?
goes so fast.
So 6:55 for you. Okay, for both of you, where do you find your inspiration?
Hot men.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for me saying like real life. I usually get a little spark of an idea about through something, that actually happened. And then I just let my imagination run away with it.
I agree. I find life is like, I think like talking about menopause, I think that other people hopefully listening can appreciate what we're going through or had been through or might go through. And so even in regular life, everyone can relate to things. And so I try to throw in something that happened to me in my regular life and maybe exaggerate a fair amount. But I think if it really happened to me, then it probably may have happened or to someone else, or they could appreciate it.
Right. Or something that maybe happened and then I make the characters deal with it better than I did.
Or worse. We had a
worse,
hot tub in our backyard and we had a skunk while we were in the hot tub. And so fortunately it took off and didn't spray us. But in my book, I have it where they did get sprayed.
Oh, yeah. So it's stuff like that. It
makes it fun.
Kernels find their way into the story. So that's it.
I love that about the skunk. That's really funny.
Because I didn't get sprayed. If I really did, it wouldn't be funny.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine having that odor on you.
And we were leaving the next day to fly to my mother-in-law's in upstate New York. And so I was like, they're not going to let us on the plane.
No, probably not. Can you imagine? And I don't think you can really get rid of it. Like tomato juice or something?
Tomato juice, yeah. I was just going to say, don't they say you have to like bathe yourself in tomato juice?
That's
something awful.
Unless it's like an old wives' tale. I wonder if it really works. We have to see if anyone comments that they've been sprayed by a skunk.
Yeah.
And how
I'm sure
do you
someone's
get rid
pet.
of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about giveaways. Victoria, what are you giving away tonight? The person can choose the outside of my misadventures, because currently I don't have any more of those. So. Okay. And what about you, Vanessa? I think you said an ebook, right?
Yes. So I'm writing on the Manhunt series. So if you have not started off, you should start with Manhunt, and I will give that away as an ebook. But if you have read Manhunt already, whomever wins, I'll bump it up to whichever one you haven't read.
All right. Awesome.
Amazing. Okay, so for Vanessa, the winner is Tina. And for Victoria, the winner is Lillian. So Amy will be reaching out to both of you to get your information, and then we'll be sure to send it over to you, Vanessa, as well.
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for spending time with me this evening.
I'm so glad you invited me. I know it was a while ago. It feels like forever. And we'll have to chat off camera too.
Yes. Again, I would like that. All right.
All right,
Thanks
we'll
for
see you all
coming,
next
everyone.
month.
Yes,
Bye.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.